Hi and welcome to a new video in this Doodle With Me series. I am Gry Hege, I am an artist and I don't have any hands, but I love to paint and to draw with my prosthetics. So today I'm going to show you a Halloween doodle. So I hope that you will draw along and that you will be inspired to make your own Halloween doodle. So let's just get started. I'm using a Tombow dual brush pen. The side I'm using now has a brush that I can push down to get a broader mark, or I can be careful to have a thinner mark. And the other side has a much thinner mark that I will use a little bit later. Now I'm just drawing the black line close to the edges, but as you can see, I'm not very careful and I don't mind if it's a little wobbly here and there. I actually find it quite charming when it's not so straight lines. What next I'm doing, I'm kind of making a hill or the ground, if you can say it like that. So I use also now the brush side to have a quite broad mark. So the line is a little bit thick. If you don't have a brush marker, or if you don't have a thick line, you can go over several times with a thinner line. The line I made now is just to divide the shape a little bit. So I have a little feel on the top right corner here where I use a little bit less force to have thinner lines, and then I use a little bit more force on the brush to get thicker lines. That's the benefit of having this kind of a brush pen. But you can definitely make this look your way with another pen as well. You can just go over several times. So this area now, I'm making kind of every second thin and every second a little bit broader. So that's just to have a little bit variation up here in the corner. The next thing I'm going to draw in is the moon. And as you can see, my hands are not really steady. And now I'm just drawing in a few areas where I can make patterns. First pattern, of course, I had my head in front of everything here. So I just creating pattern with white dots, black with white dots. But I guess you can imagine, even if you couldn't see the beginning of this pattern. So the whole area is just the same, everything. And up in the left corner, in the little area here, I'm just making some crisscross marks. I don't have any plan at all, just making the lines go, crossing over everywhere. And then I'm trying to correct the very unsteady moon here. That meaning I'm having a much broader mark around the moon and it's getting thicker line. I would definitely prefer to have a much thinner line if I could. So if I would do it again, I'll try to have something to draw around. The problem is that's very hard to do with prosthetics. But if you can do it, you can maybe go with a much steadier hand and make a thinner line. That would probably be better. What you see I'm doing now is I'm actually making a tree. It's not so easy to see. The stem of the tree is the first one there. And then it's a city. It's a kind of a silhouette of a city I'm making. So the next things here are like houses and different kind of stuff. A little Halloweenish. They shouldn't be so very normal. So they're a little bit turned and twisted. But it's still supposed to be a silhouette of a little town in the corner here. The next thing I'm drawing in is the branches of the tree. They are supposed to be thicker next to the stem and thinner as we come further out. It could probably have been even better if we used the other side of this marker, the thinner pen, but okay. Now we have a chance to do it in one go, so we can just press harder to get a thicker edge on the inside and then a thinner mark by not pressing so hard on the outside. The next thing I'm going to do is to make 3 pumpkins on the right side here. On the first one, I'm doing almost the same as I did with the lines on the top right corner, every second thin, every second thick. And then I started the second one, but then I changed my mind because I wanted the one on the right side to be in front, so I need to draw that first. But after having outlined the right one, I can take the middle one and just draw in a few sections. So the right one now is going to be the main pumpkin, meaning that will be the one with the decoration on. So I'm drawing in some kind of eyes, nose, and also mouth on it. The rest of the drawing is mainly going to be sections with different kind of patterns on. On the right bottom here, I'm drawing in lines. As you can see, they don't vary very much in the size. And the same with these ones on the left side, they're just going at a straight angle and they all have the same thickness. For this next section, after drawing the outline here, I'm just changing from the thick side to the thin side of the pen. So this is much thinner marker, so you can see that it's not so broad and it's thinner lines. So I'm kind of making leaves like it's a flower petal or something, I'm not sure. And then I'm dividing the next piece or the section between here, I'm dividing into squares. And then I'm going to do horizontal lines on the area on the left side of the city as well. My next plan is to make a section with just small circles on the bottom right side here. And I can admit as soon as I start, I almost immediately regret starting on this because it takes forever. You are so lucky that you can see me speeding this up, so it shouldn't be so boring. While having the thin side of the marker out, I'm also making some thinner lines on the pumpkins. Some of them I actually go over several times so you can see the different lines showing the shape of the pumpkin. And after doing that, I'm also making the section between the flower petals or leaves, between the small circles. I'm also just making kind of straight lines or angled lines so they kind of follow the shape. I decided to make a spider web on a section above the pumpkins. So I used the broader marker to make these first, what should we call it? The lines out from the center. And then I switched to a thinner marker again. And I used that to make the rest of the spider web. I make the spider web by going in and out, or as you can probably see better on the video, I go up close to the lines I drew with a thicker marker and then a little bump down before I go up again to the next line. So that way I continue all the way this field, so it's a big spider web at the end. On the last section here, I'm going to just make spirals, and my point is not to make them very nice. I'm not trying at all to get even shaped round circles. I'm just trying to have a little difference in the lines and a little different in the distance between them and also the sizes. So it's a little more charming than beautiful. But isn't that the point with Halloween? And now to the hardest part of everything, that is actually to draw something that looks like bats. I am still trying, I'm not very good at this. The wings are a little different than other birds. They are kind of an extra little line on them. And they have 2 ears and a kind of a small tail. So you can just practice as you go here. It's not so easy as it looks. Or maybe it doesn't look easy when you look at these ones, but it's supposed to be bats at least. And then I go back to the broad side, the brush part of the marker, and I fill out the gaps between the leaves or the flower petals. And then also I use the same thick side to fill out the every second square. So it looks more like a checkerboard pattern. And then I used the thick side as well on the marker, trying to correct a little bit on the bats, but I think it got even worse if possible. As mentioned, there are a lot of things I would have liked to improve on this drawing. First of all, it's the line around the moon. I would like it to be thinner and more round shape. And then it's the bats. The rest I can actually live with, a little bulky lines here and there, that is okay. But if I would do something different, it was the moon and the bats. I hope that you got inspired, and I really hope that you made your own Halloween doodle. If it's any questions or if you have any comments, just let me know in the comments field and I will come back to you there. And if you love to see another doodle or if you love to see other videos from me, please hit the subscribe button, then I can continue making new videos for you every Thursday. See you again then.